Welcome back to the world of Frostpunk, where the world has frozen over. We first had New London, and now we are, well, we had to try to save New Manchester as well as the Seed Arcs. Sadly, we only managed to save the Seed Arcs and not the New Mancunians, so to speak. Now it's time to move on to Scenario 3, the Refugees. The safety of the generator was reserved for the wealthy, so we seized it, so we could build a city where people are equal. But can we accept everybody who comes to seek shelter? Well, let's start this scenario, see what we can find here and how this is going to go. So, Nikki, New Manchester died. What's your feeling about this?
That's good.
That's good. Okay. Hey, there's a pirate. There's a skull fort.
No.
There's a skull fort. It's
No.
Oh, it's not a skull fort. She's playing Sea of Thieves, by the way. So it's on Cannon Cove lie buried spoils, hidden wealth from all my toils. Toils? Oh. The things we do whilst we're waiting on these save files to load. People working on an emergency ship will come discontented. I would hope so, because the emergency shifts are 24 hours long and it may kill people. So when you promise something and then fail to deliver, your people will lose some hope. Well, never mind then. The refugees. We were condemned to die with the rest of the common folk when London was destroyed. But we rose up. We commandeered the ships that were meant to carry the wealthy to safety and sailed north. Here we found a generator and claimed it for ourselves. Now we must gather our people in this new city before the lords arrive to rob us from our freedom once again. Well, it looks like we're going to need to build up a city, and then people are going to arrive slowly over time, and then we're going to need to fight back. Who knows? But from what I understand is this scenario is very much about social upheaval. That sounds like fun. There's also a bunch of other stuff going on here. I did have a little bit of a peek earlier on. Some would say that's cheating. I would say it's called scouting ahead. And we need to save our people. After the ships we stole from the lords got stuck in the frozen ocean, we head out in small groups towards the generator. Most of our people are still on the trail, and they have less than 2 weeks of supply. And the weather is getting worse every day. We must do everything we can do to make sure they'll get back here safely. Well, the game is paused. Funnily enough, there's a bunch of very interesting areas around. So we got 20 people, 15 children, 8 engineers, as well as a bunch of coal right off the bat. We got a steam core transport that has 2 steam cores in it. We got some steel wreckage, some more steel wreckage, a wood crate pile, a coal pile, a wood crate pile. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to start getting a gathering post up and running. So we have enough resources for a little while in terms of coal. We don't want you guys to work there. And I need steel, yes. That's a steam core. I don't need you guys working on the steam core right now. So that's 10 working on the iron, 10 working on the wooden crates, and I will have 5. Like, we have 5 on the coal, so that's quite a lot. So we could just steal wreckage. Like, the efficiency, we don't want to really do anything with this wood pile right now. Let's just add them to here, and then a little bit of coal on a day by day. Okay, so the generator, the workers are needed. We do want to open the Book of Laws. Safe jobs or child shelters. Emergency shift is, however, the one that we want to do for now.
Hear me. New law.
Work until you die. Cool. Gathering posts. So we want to build a gathering post over here to clear up people. Okay, so this would cover everything in this particular area. So we'll get this going, and then we will start building our first tent soon as well. We want to build gathering posts and not have people trample through the snow, mainly because of a frostbite that we want to avoid. We want to get another gathering post up and running right over here. So that we have coal cover, steel cover, and yeah, so we have a bunch of steel that's being done. Steel wreckage, 2 of them. And then let's get another gathering post up here. Good. Alright. And then we can start building our tents. So we want to kind of go with the same approach as we did before.
Time to rest, folks. Work's out today.
So now we can remove these guys from here, these guys from here. We'll max this out to 10 workers over here. Yes, the generator is offline, I am aware. Let's give that bad boy a little bit of heat. Let's move you guys away from here. We don't want to have any engineers working on the piles at the moment, if we can avoid it at least. Because frostbite's going to hit sooner or later, and we don't want them to get the bite. Also, food is a serious problem as well. Okay, so all of our workers are now all working in gathering posts. Let's hope it's not going to be too cold. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. We've got some people that are sick. In this scenario as well, we can get purpose right away. So we can house repair or neighborhood watch immediately, which is pretty cool, but not something that we want to do for now. Let's get extended shift going.
Hear me, hear me.
I know many will complain, but we must work harder to survive. My father used to tell me that we were lucky to work only 10 hours a day. Yes. Okay, we got 2 people that got sick overnight, but thankfully everybody's working in gathering posts rather than out in the snow, so it's thankfully not the end of the world. Well, technically it is the end of the world, let's be honest here, but it's not as serious as it was before. We got some new refugees. Well, look who's here. I'll be damned. They've managed to make it. That's good. We got additional workers now, so that means that we can relieve the engineers, have these guys work somewhere else, and maybe we can start setting up another resource post next to the wood crates down here. What do you want? First refugees. Yes. We're gonna need to build some housing. Yes. Again, I'm not a big fan of having them walk through the snow to get where they need to be, so having a worker is not adjacent to a street. Yeah. Having a gathering post is definitely preferable. Let's just get another one up and running. So we'll get another gathering post out so that these people don't have to like trounce through the snow. And then we'll get this tent going. So right now we need 5 more tents. Oh, good lord, food is a problem. We need a beacon. Yes, I'm aware. So we want the workers to go in there. Okay, that's all taken care of. Okay, so we got our outposts all up and running. Food is a problem though. So let's get some soup going. So food, so will be a cookhouse. So we need 20 food for that. Yeah, food is a problem. We got 4 people that are becoming ill now. Yes. Anything to calm the growling stomach, just like back in London. Yes. It is a sad, sad story, isn't it? Oh, great. It's getting colder.
Work time. Get moving.
That's really annoying. Okay. We need a cookhouse. We need 20 food for that, which is what we have now. We're out of wood. Yes, I'm aware. Let's get another tent up and running. Let's get another tent up and running. And another one. Cool. So we should have enough tents now, which means that we can start working on a medical outpost. How much do we need for that? 25 wood. Okay, so medical outposts. We'll put those engineers to work, and then get a workshop up and running. What time of day is it? It's almost the end of the day. Let's hope that we can squeeze in child shelters. Yes, we can. Good. So we're gonna squeeze out a child shelter. That's good. Let's get some engineers working in the cookhouse. More? Ooh, okay, more refugees have just arrived. That is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, they're mostly engineers, though, so that's good. And does mean that I currently don't have any houses for... Oh, I should have the houses for everybody. I did over-engineer my housing situation. Good. So we got... just not enough houses just yet. But we have a cookhouse. We have a medical post. So that is up and running. We got gathering post, a child shelter. Sure, it is... Oh, it's actually not that cold. It's just chilly in general. So the chances of getting sick are definitely reduced. But we need to get Hunter's Huts up and running soon as well. Okay. Oh, God. We got 3 people that are starving. Okay. So we're gonna need Hunter's Huts. Yeah, definitely. And as before, as we played the game before, we want to put them fairly far out in the circle. Just so we can be a little bit more efficient with our spacing. Okay, so that is done. We're gonna completely change this later on anyway, but we got a bunch of people that are still living out in the snow, which is obviously not optimal. Let's go and fix that. Let's get engineer apprentices. And then as soon as we have 15 wood, we can get our first engineering bay up and running. Excellent. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. What do you want? A note of thanks. Just wanted to thank you. Back in London, it was only the wealthy that didn't send their children to work. It's a new world, and you can see things are different. Yes. Okay, so we have let's move a couple people back and forth. Just so we can at least get a couple of people in the Hunter's Huts. It's going to reduce efficiency of some of our buildings, but sadly, that is the scenario we live in. We also need to consistently add more and more tents, because refugees will arrive. We want to be very careful with our supplies. Like, for instance, these wooden crates have now been mined out. But at least it's fairly warm. Like, it's a little bit chilly on some of these locations, but it's not cold. Food, however, is something that I find a little bit on the concerning side. Let's get these engineers in here. Let's get a beacon going if we can. We don't have enough wood at the moment. What can we do? Heaters. Well, we'll need to wait till tomorrow for the engineering bay to be up and running. What do we got? More people? Several families have reached our city. Unfortunately, some of the children got lost near Trail Bend. They are distraught and beg you to help their children. Yes. We need to add another child shelter. We got 25 children now. Please don't leave them on their own. Well, I will try to save them, but what can we do? Do I have more workers available? No, I got more engineers though. That's good. Let's just continuously let's balance this stuff out. Actually, how many engineers do I have left? 5. And then have these guys. Only normal workers can work in the hunters' huts, so that's a little bit annoying, but sadly that's the way we can do improved gathering, actually. So we can get resources faster. Okay. Still, though, like overall, it's not going too bad, I want to say. Okay. So, a beacon for 20 wood. We got everybody working where they need to work. It's good. Let's build another child shelter just to cover all the children. Food is definitely a problem. Need to wait for the hunters to come back. So we're starting to get to the point where I'm a little bit more comfortable with our situation in terms of how everything is going. So soon as we have the beacon, we should be able to build it immediately. Okay. Storage near capacity. That's just the cold though, isn't it? So the beacon has been researched. Let's go and get that bad boy up and running. Good. So we'll put the beacon like fairly far away from things. All the way back here. This is Cold Homes, Captain. Some of our people are concerned. Let's try to heat some homes a little bit. Let's try to get a heater up and running. The wisdom of the crowd. Yes, I'm aware. Cool, the beacon has... Okay, we got 2... So it's 15 children. Or 15 workers. So we need 3 houses. 3 tents. In order to fix that. So we have... not enough beds at the moment. But we will very soon. So that's that taken care of. In order for the... How much do we need? 640 wood? Well, it is the end of the day. Let's just cancel this for now. 36. Ah, shit. Okay. Storage near capacity. I hope that is just the coal that they're talking about. Well, we can get another adaptation, so. Radical treatment. Or sustained life. Cemetery, fighting arena. Let's get a fighting arena. We got a little bit of time before that becomes important. We have a bunch of trees we can also mine, so. God damn it. We got critically ill. Let's hope they'll live through the night. Not putting my money on it though just yet. Okay, that's at least 5 citizens, so I need to pull 5 citizens from somewhere. Those are just engineers. 1, 2, 3. 2. Okay, so we got the abandoned camp and Trail Bend. The abandoned camp. Let's go to Trail Bend and bring these children home. And then get this fighting arena up and running. Just 20 wood. We should be able to get that fairly quickly. Good. With some decent coverage. Tech-wise, heating, really. Let's get some steam hubs up and running. It's 10 wood. Okay, 1 gathering post is probably completely... Okay, you're completely near capacity. Yeah, you are gone. Okay, that's unfortunate. But it does mean that we can add them to a hunter's hut. Coal-wise, we are completely full. But thankfully, we can add a heater into that once the technology becomes available, which it is. Okay. Another group arrives. We should have enough people for that. Okay, that's good. So if you guys work over here, I think we have enough people for... Yeah, we have enough engineers for another workshop, which we definitely should be building, just because of the research bonus. I was really concerned about this gravely sick individual. That's really, really annoying. Okay, a series of gentle rolling hills begins. Here's a makeshift camp. Let's bring them back. A shallow depression. 15 children, 4 engineers. Okay, so we'll need to get ready for that. We have some more engineers ready to work. We're just waiting for the hunters to come home. God damn it, our first death. We need to wait 9 hours before we can build a cemetery. And this is going to impact our hope quite a lot, so that's really annoying. And it's about to get colder, too. Yeah.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
Yeah, the tents are now cold.
Work time. Get back to work.
Okay, we got our scouts back. We got 11 people not living in houses right now. With this temperature, that's definitely not a good thing. At least we can build a steam hub, so... although this position, probably not the best. We want to get them out as wide as possible somewhere. It's the same position as before, anyway. Ooh, okay, so you... go to the abandoned camp. Maybe we can find something over there. Are we still mining for wood? We only have 54 wood remaining. We're going to need to tech a sawmill ASAP and then get that up and running. Let's get a cemetery. Obviously, we don't have enough resources at the moment, but let's have you guys work over there. Take care of all that stuff. And again, the food is very, very close to not be enough. People are hungry. Well, let's try to feed them. Yeah, great. What do you mean you promised people health? I put a fucking steam hub on there. Sure, it's chilly, but it's not horribly cold. The temperature is going to go up very soon, so... Alright, well, cemetery, I guess. Can't afford more huts at the moment, because we need to get these sawmills online. There's just not enough resources. Yep, one of our people has died. Alright, the site's discovered. Hanged Man Hill. We found a scrap from a diary amongst the remains of the camp. Today we finished building the generator for the Lords. Now at last we can set out for London and bring our families here to safety. Well, let's take the resources. It's a little bit of wood. Hanged Man Hill. How many is this? More. There's so many more. Just more people are just constantly arriving. Yeah, I know. One of our people has died. And it's impacting our hope situation quite a lot as well. And food is definitely an issue. Okay. Well, let's get this sawmill up and running, I guess. Most trees are back here. Yes. So that we can just squeeze out a little bit of wood. Just for that. Just a little bit more. Okay, so just a little bit. Okay, so we now have a sawmill up and running, thankfully. Maybe a coal thumper, a sawmill we have, steelworks, hunter's gear, absolutely. We just don't have enough houses for our people at all. Yep, gravely ill because of frostbite. He managed to get the bites. That is highly unfortunate. Let's get some ceremonial treatment going.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that we're gonna die horribly. Ooh, a steam core. The chest we found contains an engineer's tools and a death note. You lured me here with promises. Kept me in the dark. Told my wife I died. You're beyond contempt. I hope you enjoyed my farewell gift. It seems that the people it was intended for never read the note, and we can only hope that it didn't become the recipients. Oh, dear Lord, he... yeah, he sabotaged it, didn't it? Oh, the supply depot. Let's go to the supply depot. Let's hope that we can get enough resources. Okay, so we got more hunter's gear.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
You have no resources. Do you? You have no gatherable resources. And we just have this coal pile. Wood is at least accounted for. Steel, on the other hand, is definitely an issue. More sick beds are needed. Yeah, we need to build more of those. At least deconstructing resources. Steelworks. So we got a burial ceremony happening right now. Can we get another hunters? What do we need? 20 wood? Just 2 more? We have people to man it. Explore. Raw food and the shack is falling apart. The contents could be useful. We found several heavy chests containing valuable supplies. Oh, thank God there's food. Let's send you back to the city with your resources. Oh God, we got 15 people who are starving. And just more and more and more people are coming in, which we can't house. At least it's getting warmer now, so that's good.
The workship starts.
Alright, hunters' huts. Let's get this going. We need a bunch of them. Let's hope that our scout will arrive back in time as well. Just so that we can get additional resources from that. Discontent is definitely increasing. And we've also now built our first steamworks. Okay. A child's plea. Captain, we found a frozen boy. We found a boy frozen to their bone in the cemetery. He's gonna need to face his loss, I'm afraid. Okay. Heaters. Yeah, let's get a coal thumper. Yep, and people dying like crazy. Got 41 starving people. Great.
Gather your tools.
Okay.
Shift is ending.
Cold homes. Let's try to finally heat some homes then. Lost refugees. According to the survivors, a group of refugees took a wrong turn at White Pass. They will surely die unless you send somebody to help. Okay. Oh, good lord. That's all the way over there. Let's go to the abandoned sawmill, and then we'll go to the survivors. Steelworks. Yes. Okay, so steelworks. What's the best way of doing this? Like this? Yes. Well, like I said, we have the workers for it. Houses, though, is a serious problem. We got 50 people that are not living in any sort of heating at the moment. So we're going to need to resolve that pronto. At least we got a lot of wood right now. We're going to have to dismantle this house. Because of reasons. Oh man, so many people are starving. Why is nobody working in the cookhouse? Okay, now we can squeeze in one of these. 37 people are injured at the moment. Ooh. Very dangerous.
Get to work.
Okay, so we got the healthcare promise in. That's good. A book of laws. Get a public house, maybe. A dueling law. Let's go for radical treatment.
New law. A new law has passed.
There's the coal thumper. So, the coal thumper. So we can at least get some coal. Okay, exploration, heating, heaters. That's up and running. So we are desperately trying to feed our people. Looks like we're doing okay now. Okay, and our gathering post has finally run out of resources, I think. Yeah. So it's finally run out of resources. That means we need to get a coal thumper online. Or else we're not going to be able to do anything with that. So coal thumper, from what I remember, can generate 560 coal per standard workday with 2 gathering posts. Which means we need to put 2 gathering posts next to it to cover all of that. Okay, so that's good. Let's get some drawing boards up and running. For raw food we have, there's a lot of people still, there's a bunch of people still not without any sort of housing. Which we're going to need to resolve. How many children do we have? 60. Oh, Jesus. We definitely don't have enough child shelters. Let's build 2 more. Yeah, okay, so that is at least running. How we're doing. Okay, we got a bunch of engineers we can still have in here. We don't have enough of that at the moment. And by that, I mean resources to build more tech labs, which I kind of want to, but we can build another one of these, another sawmill. But it looks like we're going to need to do a drill at some point.
Workday ends.
What do you mean food rations are still low? More sick beds needed. I guess I will build yet another thing for the sick. So we're on day 10. Okay, let's remove you then. The sawmill has been reached. It has wood. There was probably a base here years ago. Now there's nothing left but this frozen sawmill. 179 wood. Alright, let's just go to the White Pass. We got 30 more children coming in. That is a lot. How are we doing building-wise? Okay, this is all chilly, sure, but it's not frozen. Sure, the cemetery is, and the beacon is as well, but nothing critical at the moment. And we're about to get more workers anyway, but a lot of them are children, which is not great. We need to save up some resources for a health post. At least 250 people must survive. We currently have 172. There's 10 refugee groups, and we need to rescue the people from White Pass. Food is finally good again. Coal, though. Oh, dear Lord. We are going to run out of coal today. Okay. Let's take a look. Adaptation. Extra rations for the ill. Overcrowding. Public house. Let's get public house. Okay. We can build a public house. Nice and close to where the rest of the people are. Just like back in London. Let's call it the pipe and hole. It's the pipe and hole. Pipe and hole, you know? That's the joke. How many houses do we have? 18 vacant beds. And there is 20 people coming in on the next batch. Yeah, there they are. First amputation. Well, we must do something about it. We can't afford a care house at the moment. Good. The drawing boards have been researched. It's good. Generator power upgrade. More scouts. Coal mining. Yes. Excellent. So this public house up and running. Let's see if we can squeeze out another generator, at least another workshop. Should be okay. We could at least have our engineers work there. Cut off his leg. Okay, so that is good. There are no gatherable resources in range. And what are these then? So this is a gathering post, right? Yeah, exactly. So I was about to say, why are you not gathering any resources? But we are gathering coal, so that's good. Food we're getting now. That's nice. We need to get more child shelters up and running. Preferably not too close to the center of the city, because we are already low on beds to begin with. Just fill this stuff up with this. Yeah. Let's remove that. Let's remove that. We can remove this. Get a little bit more beds in. There's the coal mine. Coal mine needs a steam core, 25 wood. And then I want to get a wall drill. So I want to get the coal mine up and running, the wall drill. If I can get the factory for automatons, that'd be great. But sawmill upgrade, yes please. Turn this heater off. Oh. Oh, I promised heat, apparently. I'm an idiot. Oh, because it's super cold back there. Okay. Yeah, well, that's my fault, I guess. Let's hope that we can still survive somehow. Four engineers in the coal thumper. Oh, we can make him work at night. Oh, that's cool. And somebody's dead. Great. Let's get a care house so people don't clog up the...
Hear me. New law in the city.
A little bit more wood for that. I was waiting for the night shift to finish. Avalanche survivor. This group has been through a lot. An avalanche on Black Spire separated from their friends. They beg us to help them.
Under luck. It's getting colder.
Ooh, it is getting colder. By quite some margin, actually. Let's get the generator upgrade. Let's hope that's going to be enough. Explore. Led by fools. Shouts and cheers break through the howling wind as we descend from the pass into the small camp. Are you from the city? Asks one of the refugees. Relieved by your answer, he tells us how the group of know-all engineers who led them into the wrong direction. Let's escort them to the city. It's another 50 people. We're going to wrap up the episode here, though. This is the first time for this particular scenario. If we make it to day 20, which I am doubting, then we will consider this a win. If not, well, we shall have to see. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and as always, each other.